Branch of philosophy, normative science determine right and wrong, appropriate and inappropriate, good and bad. Level or code of society or group define social norm. Focus is external. Subjectivity, less subjective, more theoretical in practice. So, uh, this is morality, individual set of principle guiding belief. So, belief, thought, attitude, behavior, and action. Batawa. Belief, thought, attitude, and behavior, action. Level, individual commitment, define personal character. Focus is internal, individual conscience. Subjectivity, highly subjective, more practical, and situational. So, the difference between ethics and morality. So the level ethics level is society or group code, whereas the morality level is individual. Uh, Focus ethics, social norms, and morality focus on principal character. Locus ethics locus is external, whereas morality locus is internal. Subjectivity ethics locus is the I can say ethics locus as uh, uh, external, and uh, morality locus is internal. Subjectivity ethics lower subjectivity, whereas the morality higher subjectivity. The practice, so ethics is more theoretical, and this morality is more practical. The example, the soldier killing enemy is ethical, and society is gives section, and soldier feeling guilt about killing may be immoral for him individual level. Then comes the positive science and normative science. Positive science explains what is observed and describes. Example, physics, gravity explain why the apple falls, not if it should fall. Positive economics, increase repo rate will control inflation, observation of trend. Normative science deal with what ought to be or should happen, makes judgment and recommendation. Example, ethics should differentiate right from wrong. Normative economics, RBI should decrease repo rate during economic slump. So, ethics is normative science. What should be? So law versus effect. So law is the set of rule made by government, enforced by court, and regulate human behavior, decided by government institute, impact on peace and order, and priorities for administrator, highly priorities IPC GST laws. Ethics is branch of philosophy, is normative science, determine right, wrong, appropriate, inappropriate, good and bad, decided by group and society. So the impact on the social norm, and priorities for administrators, second priority after law, before morality. So no, the first priority to law, then ethics, then morality. LEM. One diagram can be made here. So overlap between ethics L and legal. So the corruption, anti-corruption law are legal and ethical. Then comes the type of ethics: meta ethics, normative ethics, and applied ethics. So the meta ethics, what is it? It is about the what is ethics, origin and meaning of ethics, validity, authorities, and theoretical. So what is the moral judgment? What is goodness? Elements: moral realism versus moral anti-realism, universalism and subjectivity. It is a game. Gilli danda, cricket is cricket. So, meta ethics tell about what is ethics and the origin and meaning of the ethics and validity of theoretical foundation. Normating in this, how one ought to, what is right and what is wrong, setting standard, purpose, limit, litmus test for behavior, uh, determined reward punishment, element deontology, teleology, virtue ethics, basing on theories, Gita, Kant, man. So analogy, who is playing cricket? So what technique are good and bad in cricket? And the analogy of meta-ethics is what is the game itself. So, application of ethical principle to real world situation, resolving ethical dilemma using ethics, purpose solving practical life problems, elements, medical ethics, abortion, euthanasia, environmental ethics, sports ethics, and business ethics. Analogy: is mankind ethical in cricket match? Is Kohli aggression it is ethical? Then the what is the normative ethics? So deontology, teleology, virtue ethics. So the feature, the deontology, the kartavya shastra, teleology, the parinamvad, and virtue ethics mat sadgun naitikta. So the focus of the deontology is duty or action, and teleology is consequence, and the virtue ethics is the action, intention, and the character. Then the key question in deontology is the action right based on rules and duty, and teleology, does the action produce good result, and the virtue ethics, is the person good doing the action virtuous, person is virtuous. Then outcome focus of the deontology is result does not matter, and in teleology result is everything, and in the virtue ethics not primarily concerned with outcome or duty. Then the proponents of this deontology is Kant, categorical categorical imperative, Gita Nishkamkam, and W. D. Ross. And the teleology propagator are ethical egoism, utilitarianism by Bentham and Mill, and hedonism and Charvak. And the virtue ethics is by Socrates, knowledge, Plato, wisdom, courage, temperance, justice, WCTJ, and Aristotle and Confucius. Then the example of the this I can say the deontological. So don't lie, duty is and lie if it is save the life in the teleology, and a truthful person tells truth because they are truthful, it is the virtue ethics. Then comes some source example. So can't don't hit someone, violent action, and action is right if improve the personal life or the outcome are good. So outcome based teleology. And virtue, Socrates say a knowledgeable person cannot act wrongly. So Plato, following four cardinal value make one's ethical. Then comes the psychological egoism or ethical egoism. So psychological egoism. So claim of psychological egoism is human beings are inherently selfish. They only cares about their own advantage, pleasure, and welfare. And nature, descriptive doctrine about human philosophy. Criticism, many actions show altruism, social sacrificing, and parents sacrificing panna thai. And ethical egoism is a claim people should act according to their self-interest, maximizing own happiness, minimizing own suffering, or to do should act. Nature, normative or prospective ethical theory. Proponent of this ethical egoism is Thomas Hobbes, Mandeville, Adam Smith, Invisible Hand of Market. Then comes the justification of this ethical egoism. So self-preservation is key. Mandeville, fight attendant oxygen masks analogy. So need to be happy, successful oneself to help other. So issue, can someone lead to unethical action, parent divorce from own happiness, and negatively impact the child. So this is the ethical in egoism and psychological egoism. Then comes the moral relativism and moral objectivism. So moral relativism is claim moral judgment are relative to individual or particular society, not universal. relative. Their morals are the relative one, and moral subjectivism means right or wrong is matter of personal opinion according to connects to morality. And cultural relativism, moral standards are true for given culture but not other. Polygamy in different culture. Then come the positive, promote diversity tolerance, and negative, can allow injustice within culture by hiding behind diversity. So so the person sings six, another sing nine. Perspective is relative. Then the moral objectivism. So the claim there are objective moral truth. Some actions are right for all people at all time, regardless of individual or cultural review. Nature, universal moral principle exist, and example is the deontology, some teleological theory. Example, sun rising in east is the universal truth like ethical principle. So it is the ethical objectivism. Then come the doctrine of determinism and doctrine of freedom of will. So doctrine of determinism means claim human decision and actions are causally determined by external factor. Therefore, people are not responsible for their action. Determining factors are genes, brain function, environmental upbringing, time, slavery, section 377, custom, sati, talakuthal, place, circumstance, need, and greed, and law means an end and actor. Example, person from harsh upbringing, stealing, determined by environmentalism, and acting under duress, gunpoint, lenient treatment for juvenile justice act, and unsound mind. Then comes the doctrine of freedom of wills. Claim action are not guided by external factor or necessity. People have freedom to choose, therefore they are responsible for their action. So the condition of free will, alternative available, capacity to act, awareness to circumstance and consequence. Example, choosing an advantage sports, a judge giving judgment without prejudice or pressure. And criticism, the freedom may not exist as people are always influenced by need and external factor, economic compulsion and bias. Then value and vice. Values is the guiding principle, ideology and behave, and hold dear and aspire to achieve, guide behavior and character. Classification, so the objective purpose means money, nutrition, versus the end health and the love is the value classification. The hierarchy, individual value, organizational value, social, national, international, universal like freedom, happiness, cultural like tolerance and love. Source of value, internal, spirituality and active and actional aspect, physical appearance. And the sectors of value, economic, environment, scientific, administrative, political and democratic. Administrative value, so Nolan gives the seven these I can say seven values. So integrity, accountability, selflessness, honesty, openness, objectivity, and leadership. So IAS hollow, integrity, accountability, selflessness, and and second SCR, dedication, impartiality, political neutrality, anonymity, obligation toward rules of law. Dai pao, so dedication, integrity, RS hollow, dai pao, dedication, impartiality, political neutrality, anonymity, and obligation, is hollow or dai pao. So this is the by the second ARC, and use second ARC value. So mnemonics for the 27 value. So 27 value we have right in here: eat off topic, dragonfly, HMT. So JKG, empathy, equity, accountability, temperance, objectivity, fairness, fortitude, tolerance, transparency, optimism, prudence, integrity, compassion, courage, discipline, resilience, adaptability, generosity, obligation, non-violence, forgiveness, loyalty, leadership, impartiality, capacity, scientific temper, humanity, patience, justice, mercy, slight difference in letters versus value percentage. So this is the 27 values and the mnemonics associated with the West values. So you have to learn this. So thank you. And so we have the this call from action from agenda of today. So this is the we can say 27 actions. Then come the destination of vice. So undesirable practice, behavior and habits generally considered wrong in a society. Example: corruption, apathy, indifference, slothful, laziness, injustice, flattery, insincerity, cunningness, extrovertness, disloyal, hereditary, arrogance. So BP, sacrifice, sucks. Being slight against wrongful, violence, slothful, apathy, corruption, rashness, injustice, flattery, and insincerity, cunningness, extravagance, disloyal, hatred, arrogance, greed. So this is the so today. So thank you very much. Jai